3 billion people. One man. One idea that changed everything. Right now, as you watch this, over 3 billion human beings are connected to a single platform. A platform that was born not in a boardroom, not in a Silicon Valley garage, but in a college dorm room that by a 19-year-old kid who had no idea what he was about to unleash on the world. His name is Mark Zuckerberg, and this is the story the world never fully understood. A story of genius, ambition, betrayal, lawsuits, and billion-dollar decisions made before he was old enough to rent a car. A story of a man who set out to connect humanity and ended up sitting at the center of its greatest controversies. So buckle up, because this story is unlike anything you have ever heard. Let's go all the way back to the beginning.
Facebook wasn't the first thing I built. I also built chat systems and games, study tools and music players, and I'm not alone. J.K. Rowling got rejected 12 times before she finally wrote and published Harry Potter. Even Beyoncé had to make hundreds of songs to get Halo. The greatest successes come from having the freedom to fail.
May 14th, 1984. Dobbs, Ferry, New York. A baby boy is born to Edward Zuckerberg, a dentist, and Karen Kempner, a psychiatrist. They name him Mark Elliott Zuckerberg. From the outside, it looked like an ordinary family. A nice house, a quiet neighborhood, 3 sisters. But from the very beginning, Mark was different. He did not just play with toys. He took them apart. He needed to understand how things worked. At the age of 10, his father gave him a computer. Most kids would have used it to play games. He used it to build things. By 12, he had created his own messaging program. He called it ZuckNet. It allowed all the computers in his father's dental office to communicate with each other. Think about that. 12 years old. His parents recognized something extraordinary in him. They hired a private software developer to tutor him. A man who later admitted that teaching him was difficult. Not because he was slow, but because he was always faster. He was not a student who needed to catch up. He was a mind that needed to be challenged. At high school, he studied at Phillips Exeter Academy, one of the most elite schools in the United States. He captained the fencing team. He studied ancient Greek and Latin. He read classical literature. But programming? Programming was his love language. Before graduating, he built a music player called Synapse Media Player, a program that could learn a user's music taste and recommend songs. AOL and Microsoft both tried to buy it. Both tried to hire him. He turned them down. He was not interested in joining someone else's dream. He was building his own, and that dream was about to begin in the most unlikely of places. Fall 2002. Mark Zuckerberg arrives at Harvard University. He is 18 years old, and within weeks, he is already causing trouble. It started with a website he called Course Match. It let students see what classes other students were taking. Harmless. Fun. Then came Face Mash. In October 2003, Mark sat at his computer and built something provocative. He pulled student photographs from Harvard's databases and let visitors vote on who was more attractive. Within hours, it crashed Harvard's servers. Within days, it was shut down. Mark was facing a disciplinary hearing. He was nearly expelled. But something else happened too. Thousands of people had visited the site in just a few hours. The hunger was real. People wanted to connect and see each other. He had found something. Not the idea itself, but the proof that the idea could work. Then 3 students came to him with a proposal. Divya Narendra and the Winklevoss twins had an idea for a Harvard social network. They needed a programmer. They hired Mark. He started working with them. But at the same time, he was building something else. Something bigger. On January 11th, 2004, he registered a domain name, thefacebook.com. 3 weeks later, on February 4th, he launched it. Within 24 hours, over 1,000 Harvard students had signed up. Within a month, it had spread to Yale, Columbia, and Stanford. The Winklevoss twins were furious. They claimed Mark had stolen their idea. That would come back to haunt him. But right now, the world was about to change. What happened next would shake the tech world to its core. Summer 2004. Mark drops out of Harvard. He packs up and moves to Palo Alto, California with his best friend Eduardo Saverin and a small team. They rent a house. They work around the clock. Pizza boxes on every surface. Code on every screen. By June, they have 1 million users. By December, over 10 million. Not in years, not in months, but in weeks. In 2005, a venture capital firm called Excel Partners invests $12.5 million. The company drops the and becomes simply Facebook. Peter Thiel, PayPal co-founder, had already written them a check for $500,000. He saw not just a programmer, he saw a builder of empires. By 2006, Facebook opens to everyone. If you are 13 or older, you are in. And the world walked through that door, in the tens of millions. In 2007, Microsoft invests $240 million, valuing Facebook at $15 billion. Mark is just 23 years old. In 2008, Sheryl Sandberg joins Facebook as Chief Operating Officer. She brings business discipline to Mark's visionary chaos. Together, they are unstoppable, the dreamer and the operator. But behind all this success, trouble was quietly brewing. When you build something this big and fast, not everyone applauds. The Winklevoss twins filed a lawsuit claiming Mark stole their idea. In 2008, Facebook settled, paying $65 million in cash and stock. $65 million. And still, many felt the real cost was not money. It was reputation. Then Eduardo Saverin, Mark's original co-founder and best friend, the man who gave Facebook its first money, was quietly pushed out. His stake was diluted from over 30% to under 10%. Saverin sued. The case settled. His name was restored as co-founder. But the friendship? Gone. In 2010, the movie The Social Network hit cinemas. It portrayed Mark as cold, ruthless, obsessive, willing to betray anyone to reach the top. He called the film inaccurate, but the world had already made up its mind. Despite the controversies, users kept coming. By 2010, Facebook crosses 500 million users. Mark graces the cover of Time magazine, Person of the Year. In 2012, Facebook goes public. The IPO raises $16 billion. It is one of the largest in tech history. And at 28 years old, Mark Zuckerberg becomes one of the youngest billionaires in human history. But just as the world began to see him as a hero, another storm was gathering. And this storm would be the biggest challenge of his life. The year is 2012. Facebook is everywhere. But Mark is not resting. He acquires Instagram for $1 billion. The app has 13 employees and zero revenue. The tech world laughs. $1 billion for a photo app? Today, Instagram alone is estimated to be worth over $100 billion. In 2014, he buys WhatsApp for $19 billion, the largest acquisition of a venture-backed company in history at the time. And then Oculus VR, a virtual reality company, for $2 billion. 3 massive bets, all in the same year. This was not a man chasing trends. This was a man trying to own the future. By 2016, Facebook crosses 1.7 billion monthly users. It becomes the primary news source for hundreds of millions of people worldwide. But with that power came something no one had fully prepared for. The rise of fake news, the manipulation of political discourse, the weaponization of information at scale. In 2016, allegations emerged that Facebook was used to spread disinformation during the U.S. presidential election. Mark is dragged before the U.S. Congress. The questions are direct. Did Facebook allow foreign interference in American democracy? Millions watch the hearings. Many are unsatisfied with the answers. What the world discovered next sent shockwaves across every nation.
replacing Larry and Sergey as the people out here who
2018. A whistleblower steps forward and reveals a devastating truth. A company called Cambridge Analytica had harvested the private data of up to 87 million Facebook users without their knowledge. That data was used to build psychological profiles, to target voters, to influence elections, not just any election, potentially the 2016 US presidential election and the Brexit vote in the United Kingdom. The world erupted. Facebook's stock collapsed. Governments around the world opened investigations. Mark testified before the US Congress for over 10 hours. Cameras everywhere. Questions cutting to the heart of something real. Was Facebook too powerful? Was it too dangerous? Could one man's platform really shape the fate of democracies? These were no longer just technology questions. They were questions about the future of humanity. Facebook paid a $5 billion fine to the Federal Trade Commission, the largest privacy fine in American history at the time. But Mark was already thinking beyond all of this. In October 2021, he took the stage and made an announcement that stunned the world. Facebook was dead. Long live Meta. The company rebranded. The mission: to build the metaverse, a virtual world where people can live, work, and play in digital space. Some called it visionary. Others called it a desperate escape from scandal. History will decide. In 2023, Meta launched Threads, a direct competitor to Twitter. In just 5 days, it gained over 100 million users. And through all of it, the lawsuits, the hearings, the scandals, the reinventions, Mark Zuckerberg remains standing. So what does this all mean? What can we truly learn from this man?
My best memory from Harvard is meeting Priscilla. I had just launched this prank website, Face Smash.
Behind the boardrooms, billions, and the congressional cameras, there is a man. Mark met Priscilla Chan when they were both students at Harvard. She was quietly studying medicine. He was quietly plotting to connect the world. They dated for 9 years. In 2012, the day after Facebook's IPO, he married her in a quiet ceremony in their backyard. On the day he became one of the richest men in the world, he chose simplicity. Together, they have 3 daughters, Maxima, August, and Aurelia. In 2015, when Maxima was born, Mark and Priscilla announced they would give away 99% of their Facebook shares over their lifetime to their philanthropy, the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative. The mission was to advance human potential, cure disease, reform education, and promote equality. He still wears the same gray t-shirt every day. He says it removes one daily decision so he can focus on what matters. A man worth hundreds of billions, dressed like he is going to the gym. He trains Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He raises cattle. He reads voraciously. He runs every morning. And from this extraordinary life, there are lessons that belong to all of us. So what do we do with this story? What do we make of a man who built the greatest communication platform in human history from a dormitory room, and then spent the next 2 decades trying to understand what he had truly created? Mark Zuckerberg is not a simple story, not a villain, not a saint. He is something far more interesting. He is a mirror that reflects what happens when human ambition meets unlimited possibility, when one person's ideas touch 3 billion lives, and when power grows faster than wisdom. And from that mirror, there are lessons. Lesson 1. Start before you are ready. Mark launched the Facebook at 19. He did not wait for permission or a perfect plan. He built something and put it in front of people. The world responded. You do not need to be ready. You need to begin. Lesson 2. Think bigger than the room. When Facebook had 10 million users, most people would have been satisfied. Mark asked, what about 10 billion? When the company was stable, he asked, what comes after the internet? Small thinking builds small things. Big thinking changes the world. Lesson 3. Accountability matters. The Cambridge Analytica scandal, the congressional hearings, the billions in fines. They were painful, but they forced a reckoning. Power without responsibility is the most dangerous thing on earth. The bigger your platform, the bigger your responsibility to the people on it. Lesson 4. Resilience is the real superpower. Mark has been sued, ridiculed, portrayed as a villain in an Oscar-winning film, grilled by governments on every continent, and left for dead by critics dozens of times. And every single time, he came back. The world will knock you down. The question is never whether you fall. The question is whether you get back up. In a world that is increasingly connected and increasingly divided, the story of Mark Zuckerberg asks us a question we must all answer. Not just the question of what technology can do, but the question of what we will do with technology. We are all users of the tools that people like Mark build, and that means we share in the responsibility of how those tools are used. The next generation of builders is watching. They are sitting in classrooms, writing code and dreaming. And somewhere out there, right now, a teenager has an idea that seems too small, strange, and early. An idea that the world is not ready for yet. The question is not whether the world is ready. The question is, are you?